Hello everyone, welcome back to CWS. In this video, we'll learn variables and data types in Python using Visual Studio Code. I am absolutely thrilled to guide you through this explainer today because, honestly, we're laying down the very bedrock of your programming journey. Once you master these core concepts right from the start, I promise you, everything else in Python is just gonna click. So here's our roadmap for today. First, an introduction to variables. Second, creating variables in VS Code. Then we'll dive into the data types, string, integer, and float. And finally, Booleans, alongside some real-world examples. Let's get right into it. Section 1, Introduction to Variables, your data containers. So what exactly is a variable? Well, it's quite simply a container used to store data in Python. Think of it like moving into a new house, right? You've got all these cardboard boxes, and inside those boxes, you place very specific items. In Python, a variable is just like one of those boxes. You slap a label or a name on it, and you drop a piece of data inside for safekeeping, so you can easily find it and use it later whenever your program needs it. Okay, moving on to Section 2, creating variables in VS Code. Let's look at this simple 4-step workflow we'll be using in our digital workshop. First up, you open the Visual Studio Code application. Second, you create a brand new Python file, the ones ending in .py. Third, we literally just type our variable code right into the editor. And finally, step 4, we run that code to see the results pop up in the terminal output at the very bottom of our screen. It is a super satisfying loop once you get the hang of it. All right, let's simulate typing these initial assignments right into our VS Code editor. We type name, followed by an equal sign, and then a hash. Right below that, we type age equals 18, and finally height equals 5.8. Now I want you to pay close attention to that equal sign. It's absolutely crucial. That is the exact instruction that tells Python, hey, take the data on the right and put it into the container named on the left. Now, here's the kicker. While variables are our containers, Python is actually very particular about knowing exactly what kind of material is inside each one. And that brings us to our next core concept, data types. A data type tells Python exactly what kind of value is stored in a variable. Just like you wouldn't label a box of Fragile dishes as gym clothes, Python needs the right data type label to process your code correctly without breaking. Which brings us to Section 3, the string data type. So what's a string? A string is simply a data type that stores text. That's it. Whether it's just a single letter, your full name, or literally an entire paragraph, if it is text-based information, Python handles it as a string. Let's jump back into VS Code. We type name equals Python. Did you catch those quotation marks? That is the universal signal to Python that it's dealing with a string. Now, we're going to introduce a really powerful built-in diagnostic tool. On the very next line, we type print, open parenthesis, type, open parenthesis, name, and close both parentheses. This type function literally looks inside our variable container and asks Python, hey, what exactly is in here? When we go ahead and hit run, we look down at our terminal output, and there is our result, class str. Python is officially telling us, yep, I recognize the variable name as a string. Seriously, this type function is going to be your absolute best friend as you're learning to code. All right, let's tackle Section 4, the integer data type. An integer is a data type that stores whole numbers. What does that mean? It means any number without a decimal point. It can be a positive number, it can be negative, or it can even just be 0, but it absolutely must be whole. Back at our VS Code editor, let's type this out nice and slow. Age equals 18. Notice something missing? There are no quotation marks this time. On the next line, we're going to use our handy diagnostic tool again by typing print type age. We want Python to verify exactly what we've just created. Now take a look at this, because this is a trap so many beginners fall into. On the left side, we have age equals 18, complete with quotation marks. To Python, that is a string. It's just text that happens to look like a number. But on the right, we have age equals 18 without quotes. To Python, that is an integer. That's an actual mathematical number we can add, subtract, whatever. Those quotation marks literally change how Python views your entire piece of data. Next up, Section 5, the float data type. The float data type is your specialized container designed explicitly to store decimal numbers. It's super simple to remember. If your number has a decimal point in it anywhere, it's a float. Let's type our float assignment right into VS Code. Height equals 5.8. It really is as simple as that. And just to be absolutely sure our digital workshop is functioning the way it should, we'll type print
type height. When we execute that code, our terminal prints out class float, confirming perfectly that Python recognizes the decimal value.
Finally, Section 6, Booleans and Real-World Examples.
Our final data type for today is the Boolean. A Boolean is a very simple but incredibly powerful data type that stores literally only one of two values, true or false. Think of it exactly like a simple light switch in your program. It's either flipped on or it's flipped off. Okay, let's combine everything we've learned so far into a single cohesive real-world script. Let's say we want to create a profile for a student named John. In VS Code, we type student_name equals John, that's our string for text. Next, student_age equals 20, that's our integer for a whole number. Then student mark equals 92.5. That requires a float because of the decimal precision. And finally, past equals true. That's our Boolean switch confirming his status. Look at that. We've just mapped all four fundamental data types to real, practical variables. Now, to see all of our hard work pay off, we type out 4 simple print statements into our VS Code editor. We literally just instruct Python to print the contents of student_name, student_age, student_mark, and past. And when we hit run, our terminal beautifully outputs John's complete academic profile directly onto the screen. So let's do a quick recap of the critical rules from today's explainer. Variables, they're containers that store data. A string stores text. An integer stores whole numbers. A float stores decimal numbers. And a Boolean stores simple true or false values. I highly encourage you to open up VS Code on your own, practice creating your own variables, and use that type function to check them. In our next explainer, we're going to build on this exact foundation by learning about user input and type conversion.
The digital workspace is completely yours now. Are you ready to create your own variables and check their types? Thank you for watching CWS. See you in the next episode.